This video is dedicated to Sonny Chiba.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
The Street Fighter. So, this review is a tribute to Sonny Chiba. Sonny Chiba is a big name in Grindhouse circles, especially for martial arts fans. Sadly, he passed away on August 19th. And it sucks. It always sucks losing someone that you grew up watching. Sonny Chiba was known as the anti-Bruce Lee. He played his fair share of morally ambiguous characters. The Street Fighter is probably his most notorious film, as well as one of my all-time favorite martial arts films. And yes, I know he was in Kill Bill, but I don't care. I'm talking about the Street Fighter. He starred in this one. Oh, and fair warning, I do apologize for the quality of the clips I'm showing and the English dubbing. This is the only copy of the movie that I have, but all the violence is still intact, so that's a good thing. In Street Fighter, we follow Terry Tsurugi, one of the most bloodthirsty badasses in martial arts cinema. Terry is a mercenary that specializes in death blows. Seriously, he kills so many people with his bare hands. He's been hired by the yakuza to kidnap the daughter of a deceased businessman. She's just inherited her father's fortune and business, and the yakuza want it. But they refuse to pay the large sum of money that Terry wants for the job. And of course, when someone refuses to work for you after you've told them your entire plan, you have to kill them. But this is Terry Tsurugi. He does not die so easily.
You see what fun this is? It's going to get really exciting. I know what to do now. They've made it clear.
After the attempt on his life, Terry offers his services to protect the business daughter. And what follows is a very violent martial arts movie that is so much fun.
Yeah!
The interesting thing about The Street Fighter is it's a hand-to-hand based martial arts movie from Japan. When it comes to martial arts movies, especially back in the day, hand-to-hand based martial arts movies were more common in Hong Kong flicks. Japanese martial arts movies focused more on weapons-based martial arts, mostly samurai movies like Lady Snowblood. Which we will get to someday. Sonny Chiba appears in the sequel, so hey, there's a connection. The Street Fighter was one of the first Japanese films to focus on hand-to-hand martial arts. Terry Tsurugi is an interesting main character. That's a nice way of saying he's an asshole.
Kendo Masuoka, I presume. I'm Terry Tsurugi. I challenge you to a match. Or are you too weak?
Most of the time, I don't like it when the main character is an asshole, but it can work when you make them a likable asshole. It's possible to make your main character a prick, but still make them interesting enough and entertaining enough that you can't help but like them.
So, that's what you call karate, eh?
Terry is one of those characters that exists in this moral gray area. He's a mercenary. He does do good things, only for money though. But as the movie goes along, he starts to redeem himself and become more heroic. The turn happens when he faces the uncle of the business daughter, who also happens to be a martial arts master and teaches at a dojo. During this scene, Terry gets in a fight with Uncle Martial Arts Master, and he loses. We see this badass mercenary get defeated by this short, stocky guy. That's one of the reasons why I like Sonny Chiba, especially in this movie. As much as I like Bruce Lee, when it came to his movies, he was always the best there ever was. He never really lost. He would get some cuts and scratches, but you never see him get beat up. He kicked so much ass, and he never really lost. In The Street Fighter, Terry is a great fighter. He might even be the best, but there are moments where he does have to struggle. Yeah, there are a lot of scenes where he kicks everyone's ass, but there are moments where he is outmatched. I prefer when my main characters have to struggle. I like when main characters get hurt. If you're watching a movie and the main character never gets hurt, there's no suspense. There are no stakes. That's why, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, as much as I love Bruce Lee, his martial arts movies aren't my favorites. I do watch them and enjoy them, but there are a lot of martial arts movies that I would put above his films. But let's get to the violence, because dear God, this movie has a lot of it. Terry is the kind of fighter that doesn't like to leave his opponents intact. If you fight against Terry Tsurugi and you manage to get out of it with only a few broken bones, you are very lucky. Street Fighter got an X rating for violence when it was released. It might seem a tad tame by today's standards, but just imagine seeing this movie back in 1974. We got teeth getting knocked out, throats getting ripped out, nuts getting ripped off. It's chock full of bloody goodness. I've gotten some requests to review Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky. I do hope to get to that one soon, but it would not surprise me if Riki-Oh was inspired by the Street Fighter. Speaking of inspiration, it's obvious that the Street Fighter inspired the Street Fighter video game. But you can also see some inspiration for the Mortal Kombat video games. Terry would fit better in a Mortal Kombat game than he would in a Street Fighter game. I think this connection can be seen even more so in modern-day Mortal Kombat games. I give you Exhibit X. Ray. The fight scenes are bloody, and with just the right amount of over the top. I love the goofy faces Terry makes. The Street Fighter is such a fun martial arts movie, and Sonny Chiba is one of my favorite martial arts badasses. It's sad that he's no longer with us, but we can always enjoy his movies. That's how we can keep him alive. And with that, let's get to the Grindhouse rankings. We've got a body count of 26. I think there are quite a few bodies hitting the floor. It gets kind of messy, in a fun, bloody way, of course. The kills consist of, but are not limited to, crushed rib cages, crushed skulls, torn out throats, and ripped off balls. Terry is a fun protagonist. He can be a bit of an asshole, but in a likable way, if that makes any sense. The fight scenes are a blast, and violent as hell. Plus they're spread out nicely throughout the film. We don't have to wait long for the next one. We get one-on-one, one-on-two, one-on-many. It's very entertaining. And as I tend to do a lot, I have to praise the pacing. You can see inspiration for both movies and video games in this flick, making it worth a watch for both movie fans and video game fans. I'm giving this a 4.8 out of 5. It's a great martial arts movie and well worth a watch, and it's the best way to celebrate the late, great Sonny Chiba. And on that note, I do want to thank everyone for watching this video. I just wish it could be on a happier note. But I would like to take this opportunity to raise a glass to Sonny Chiba. If you would all like to join me, please pause this video and go get yourself a glass. Rest in peace, Sonny Chiba. You are one of my favorite martial arts actors, and I absolutely loved your movies. And The Street Fighter is an influential film that we will never forget. We'll miss you.